don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's the first Saturday in a brand new month. So it's obviously going to be Mission Inspiration time. So if you've not joined our Mission Inspiration Facebook group just yet and you want to, I'll put the link on the screen right now so you can see it, but there'll also be a clickable link in the description area below the video that you can just click on and jump across to our Facebook group. It's coming up to about 5,000 people in the group now, so that's really, really good news. All sharing, chatting, supporting, giving hints, tips, answering questions, asking questions. It's a really, really good supportive community for people to go in there and just basically create and express themselves, which is brilliant. So for February, I'm going to once again work in my triangle journal that I created especially for the Mission Inspiration main missions for 2021. So for February, the prompt is silhouette. So an outline that appears dark against a light background. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a black silhouette. It could be any colour at all. And your silhouette could be anything from the figure of a person to an animal, a bird, or machinery, or a landscape, or a cityscape even. You know, you can choose anything at all, even a spider, if that takes your fancy. So the colours, we've got royal blue, salmon pink, and steel grey. So dark blue, pinky red, and a grey. And then your ingredients in no particular order. So we've got inks, tissue paper, circles, numbers, and mark making. So I think I'm going to combine a couple of those together, especially the numbers and the circles I'm going to combine together. I'll show you why in a second, or what I'm going to be doing in a second. But let's just move the prompt card to one side. What I'm going to be using as my main focal point for this month, now this is my triangle journal, so when you open it out it goes into a square, and I did say that each month I was going to rotate it 90 degrees and work on it that way. So in March I'll rotate it that way and work on it that way, so it becomes a little bit more of an experience. So that's the way I'm going to work on it this month. So I'm going to pop a quick clip on that one there. That's just going to hold that down. So my main focal I'm going to use is from my new Gentleman's Club Digi Download set. So in this set you get 8 5x7 main images. So they're 5 inches by 7 inches. You get 8 of the full colour images, but you also get the men images without the background. So you can print and then cut out. But if you want to colour them yourself, because I've hand tinted these, but if you want to colour them yourself, you also get a complete set of the grayscale ones. So you can print them and then colour them using your own colour pencils or your favourite alcohol pens. But the thing with this kit that I think excited a lot of people is because they're 5x7, if you print, when you tell it to go and print on your computer, if you tell it to print out 50%, they print out the exact size that you need to create ATCs. So they will, obviously, 50% or half of 5 inches is 2.5, and half of 7 is 3.5. So 2.5 by 3.5 is the exact size for an ATC. So I've started making a set of these up already, and I will probably send these out as gifts or little thank yous in with any website orders that I get, physical website orders obviously, that I'm shipping out across the world. So they'll come in very, very useful for that. But for today's project, I've already gone ahead and printed off one of the 2 sets of characters. I'm using the grayscale ones because I can do one of 2 things. I can either recolour this side to create my silhouettes, or I can flip it and paint that side, depending on whether I want the chappie in the bowler or the top hat to be on the left or on the right. Don't really think it's going to matter that much, because whichever one is going to go right the way across the middle anyway. But sometimes I think, well, it could be best if we just do, I think I will do that, actually, the chappie with the top hat. So that silhouette is quite good. I kind of like that. So the first thing I need to do is I want to paint over the top of this. So let's just bring that card back in again. So my colours were royal blue, salmon pink and steel grey. So I've gone through my paint collection. I haven't actually got a royal blue. I know, go figure. I've got a true blue from Deakin Americana, which is a bit blue. And I've also got the lapis colour from the Dina Wakley media range, which is a kind of darkish blue. So I haven't really decided which one I want to use. I might use the lapis and mix in a little bit of black to make it darker. And as for the salmon pink, well, Deco bright salmon, so no choosing there. But if you want to make up your own salmon colour, then red and a little bit of yellow. Just don't put a lot of yellow into the red because you'll get orange. So just keep adding a little bit of yellow into your red until you get a kind of nice salmony pink colour, and then stop. Grey, I'm using Americana slate grey, not steel grey, but slate grey. Again, if you haven't got grey but you've got black and white, just mix a bit of the two together to make you grey. So I've got those. So that's what I'm going to start off with now. And I've just realised that I went and cleaned my get ready for this. I have actually gone and cleaned my paintbrush pot. I know. And it's only February. Usually I only do it once a year around about Christmas. But I've actually done it. But I forgot to bring it back in. So I'm going to have to go and get my my paint pot and some water because they're all clean. Okay, as if by magic, I've got my paint pot, my water pot. There we go, just turn my phone off. Realise I've just left it on. I'm not exactly prepared. This is rubbish, absolute rubbish TV. Anyway, so I've got paintbrushes. I've got my paint pot with water in. Come on, get your brain in gear today, Mike. Oh dear. Right, I need some black. That'll be that one then. I don't know why, but I've got two lapis. Right. Let's give that a shake up. A bit of blue there. And then let's add some black. Just to make it a wee tad darker. And then just a smidge of water. And then just give that a mix. Oh, look at that. You see, the black is far too strong. Let's add a bit more blue. There we go. There we go. That'll do. Right, I'm going to just start from the middle and work my way out. It's turned into a little bit more of like an oily midnight blue, hasn't it? Which isn't exactly what I wanted, but never mind. Let's just grab some of that blue there. Might be nice actually if I've got a little bit of a like a gradient effect. Not, I won't say ombre, but a little bit of a nice gradient effect with the different colours. I might even come back in with some of that lighter blue. Now, I'm going to get my finger in that if I'm not careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little pokey tool down there just to hold the piece of paper in place. So it's going to get a little bit wet, but that's okay. And it doesn't matter if the paint goes underneath it, because this is going to get glued down onto the page anyway, so it will be fine. Okay, so let's add some more of that blue into it. Just take some of that on the brush and then work that in. So it's not going to be like a total one tone deal. Like it. That's better. Okay, so get that put into some water. I'll get this cleaned up, this dried off. Hopefully it won't curl too much. With it being acrylic, stop that so you can actually hear what I'm saying. With it being acrylic, it will dry pretty quickly. So, alrighty then. So my silhouettes are dry. Just a little bit of that paint has gone through to the other side, but that's okay. You can still see that they're silhouettes, chappies with their hats on. When I was talking about the silhouettes that you can use, I obviously forgot to mention plants, because, you know, there are lots of flowers with distinctive outlines that you could use as a silhouette as well. But you don't also have to cut it out and then paint it. You could, if you want to, you can just draw your own shape and then paint it as a silhouette. There are lots of different possibilities. Right, okay, so background. I've got my page, so that's now going to stand out quite nicely on that, but I want to do the next stage for this. So I've used the roll blue, that's okay. I've got the silhouettes, that's fine. Now it says tissue paper. So what I want to do is, if I can get some matte medium. Now, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to take out a pair of gloves, because I want to keep the skin on my hands, and this stuff tends to strip my skin for some reason. There we go. Just pop a pair of latex gloves on, which we've now got thousands of these pairs dotted around the house because we're wearing them when we're going out now. Because the new strain of the virus makes it easier to catch. So there we go. Right, so matte medium, give it a shake. So I've got some of that. Now tissue, it says tissue paper is the second item on the list. Number 2, tissue paper, if you can see that, if it's not too bright. So what I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use a napkin, and I've got this old napkin here. So just one piece, and I've already gone and pulled or separated the plies, or started to separate the plies, and I'm just going to tear them like so. Just random rips and tear in a diagonal shape. I'm going to stick those down and overlap onto the page like so. Pretty much. I know I could have just left it, but I wanted to. It's smaller than the actual page, so I wanted to kind of like open that gap up in the middle. God, I'm forgetting me worms today. Right, not a lot of this stuff left, thank goodness. So I've been using this stuff for such a long time, a couple of years, and just never realised that was what was causing my skin to drop off. I know. It takes a while for me to catch on sometimes, but you know. Now, I'm only going to do the page. I'm not going to do the actual tissue napkin itself because it's going to be so thin. The minute I try and put any of this on it, it's going to stick. So, or if I put any of it on the napkin, it's just going to soak in and go unmanageable almost instantaneously. So I'm just going to add the tissue directly to the page. It's already got a coat on the page itself, so it will grab. And then I'm just working from the middle out. I'm just loading in a bit of that matte medium just to kind of flatten it down. God, my tummy's rumbling. I've had lunch. It's actually, what time is it now? What's wrong with my phone? There we go, 1 o'clock. So I have had my lunch. We had homemade vegetable soup, which I did yesterday morning. A couple of years ago, Mum and Dad bought us a soup maker. It's like a heater and a blender all rolled into one, and you just toss in your ingredients chopped up into little pieces, of course, or small pieces, and your water and your stock or whatever, and then you just set it. There's a setting for chunky and there's a setting for smooth, and you can just set it and then walk away, and within 21 minutes you've got red hot, nutritious, beautiful soup. So yesterday I grabbed 2 carrots, 1.5 medium-sized potato, not huge, about yay big, a leek, 3 chestnut mushrooms, some mange tout, so like baby peas in pods, and I chopped it all up, put it in the soup maker with, let's say, 3/4 of a pint of vegetable stock, and then I just left it. Didn't season it, didn't put salt in, didn't put pepper in, didn't put anything else in. And then 21 minutes later, there was this beautiful vegetable soup. And we had enough to last us for 2 days. So we had it for lunch yesterday, and we've just had it for lunch today as well. So, lovely. Okie doke, let's get this dried. And then, in the words of Arnie, I'll be back. So, that's now dry. Now, I'm hoping the camera's picking up that there is a little bit of a creamy background to that napkin, but I'm going to cover it up now. Okay, so the challenge also says circles, so I've got the tissue paper in there now. So circles, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring in this roll of masking tape, and I did have a pencil somewhere. Oh, come now. This is what happens when you put things away. I've probably picked it up and used it for something else. There must be another. Is that a blue pencil? Is that a blue pencil? It probably is. I'm just going to go around the inside. Just really, really lightly. Yeah. Just really, really lightly. Just to give me kind of an outline. And then I'm going to bring in that salmon pink. Salmon pink, there we go. And then I need I use that small brush. I did use that smaller brush earlier, didn't I? Let's give that a clean. Look at this, I'm cleaning my brushes as I go. Everybody think I've turned over a new leaf. Right, so salmon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just come in and I'm just going to roughly, quickly sort of paint a circle with that salmon pink. I'm going to leave a fair bit of paint on there because you can still see the music paper behind it, which is brilliant. And then I'm going to quickly grab the grey. I want plenty of the grey, and I'm just going to quickly whiz off as much salmon off the paintbrush as I can. I'm not bothered about getting a little bit on it, so just use the same paintbrush, grab some of that grey, and then I'm going to start to blend around the circle. And then with the grey, just a little bit of water, just to kind of water it down. And then go towards the outer, a tad of water. And I'm going to grab some more of the salmon, and then start kind of building up a blend. Too much on the brush. Don't worry, we can sort it. Okay. Just a touch of the grey and some water. And grab that salmon again. Give it a wash. It's almost like looking at a sunset through fog. Almost. But not quite. So while that grey's still wet, you see we can get this great kind of blend. That's not too stark. Don't want the grey to be too opaque, which is why I'm mixing the water, because it's watering it down, allowing that music tissue paper to kind of blend through so you can see it, but also if you get it before it gets too dry, then you can use a baby wipe. I want a little bit more of the salmon. Go a bit darker, I want a bit more prominent in the middle. And I'll just lighter go towards the edges. There we go. Drop that in some water and then just get a clean baby wipe from my baby white pot, and then I'm just going to go, see, I'm exposing that kind of tissue paper again. Now because we've got matte medium on there, it's kind of created a little bit of a barrier which enables you to lift the paint back off again. I probably lifted off just a little bit too much, more than I wanted. So I'll just quickly clean the brush. Okay, just grab a little bit more of the grey and then go back again. Yeah, it has just brought a little bit too much. Perhaps I pressed too hard. There we go. That's more like it. Which I needn't really worry about this bit down here. Because this is where my focal point's going to go. There we go. Liking that. Maybe just extend that salmon circle a little bit further out on this side. Just a bit higher, a bit. So because the paint's still wet and I haven't tried to dry it yet, you can still get a nice kind of blend, loosish kind of blend. Make your own ombres, gradient fills and all that kind of stuff. There we go. I'm not going to labour at it. That will do. There we go. Let's get it dried. Next up, now that the paint is now dry, look at that colour. Love it. Next up on the list we've got ink and making marks. So you can make marks with ink, combine the two. So I've got a rubber stamp. This is a like an illegible script rubber stamp, and I've got some Cloudy Sky Stays On, which is like a dark grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of stamping, and I'm just kissing the page. I'm not going mad with it. Don't forget, this is where the focal point's going to go anyway. So I'm just giving it a little bit of an impression that there's something there. Okay, so that's with the stamp, but I also want to add something else. So I've got one of these catalyst pebbly things here. So I'm just going to, I thought it was going to drag some lines down, but it isn't. So let's use a debit or credit, not credit card, it's a transit card, this one. This was from San Diego. Compass Tap and Ride, when Ian and I were there last doing the whale watching. Grey whales, if you're interested. One of the best afternoons of my life. Okay, so very subtle, but I'm not going to put that away because we will be coming back and using it again later on. So that's ink, making marks, numbers and circles. Okay, so circles. Now then, talking of inks, I have got another dark blue. I've got a midnight blue there. Boom, boom, boom. I've got another blue. got that many. I've got 17 different colours. Yes, look at that one. Oh, cobalt blue, I think that one is. Blue Hawaii. That'll do. So let's see if I can open it. This was one of my Christmas presents to myself. Thought I want some more solvent permanent inks. I have got a tub with about 20 of the Ranger archival ones, you know, the big tubs, but they take up so much space, which is pretty much at a premium at the moment, in here anyway. So I decided I was going to get smaller ones, and I know you can get the smaller archival ones, but I thought, do you know what, let's give another brand a try. And I've had stays on stuff in the past, and it's always been pretty darn good. So okay, so we've got circle marks there as well, and I've done that in the blue. So now we need numbers, but wait, let's stick our silhouettes down first. Look at that, anybody'd think I planned it. Right, so glue stick, start in the middle and work my way out. Yeah, these two characters could almost be Sherlock Holmes and Watson, couldn't they? We were kind of having a laugh, Ian and I, the other night, looking at these, wondering what they were saying to each other, and yes, it did get rude. Because it's just what we do. Right. What were these two Victorian gents actually saying to each other? Mind boggles. That's not sticking, is it? That's no good. Look at that. Okay, so I don't like that, the fact that it's straight down there, so I need something that's going to detract away from that. Now, circles. Let's carry on with the theme. I've got some die cut, well, I say die cut, they were printed and then punched out. I've got some clocks. So I want to, I need a foam blender. I was at the other side of the room. There we go. I've been making miniature books this morning just because while I was waiting for stuff on the computer to happen. We've upgraded our internet yesterday, supposedly increased the speed, the bandwidth if you like, from 100 megabits per second to 350. I was kind of hoping that it might be better, or might be good enough now for me to try maybe doing a live, but to me it doesn't feel any faster, it doesn't feel any different at all, to be honest. But that's just me. Ian says it's faster, maybe faster on download, but I don't think it's going to be faster on upload because they don't tend to bother telling you what the kind of upload speeds are. They say that most people are only interested in download. It's very selfish, but there you go. Virgin, by the way, if you're interested, who we're with for our internet. Virgin Media. Could I recommend them to anybody? No. I would say if you have a choice. Run as far away from Virgin as you possibly can. Because my experience, or our experience with Virgin, has been absolutely blooming awful. Okay, so we'll have another clock. I think I'll actually stick that one just behind his hat. There. I am going to use that one. And I am making sure that I'm sticking them the right way up. But I think that one there I'm going to do a half and half cut. But if I've got any scissors, this I have, there we go. So I need to make sure I get it the right way around, just to kind of hide that corner, so it needs to be just there. And that was probably one of the worst cuts in history, but there you go. More glue. I will take my gloves off in a minute. Let's bring that away. I may just add one more little circle. It's not sticking, is it? Why is it sticking? It's probably because it's on the paint. Elmer's glue, eh? Well, it could be the fact that there's toner on the back of that image. I know what Sherlock's saying to him now. Time is of the essence, Watson. The game's afoot. Or something like that. Right, I've just come away just to grab another clock face. Because I've got some more on my desk over there that I wasn't all that enamoured with. But I think we can work with it. I've not even thought about a quote for this page just yet. My thoughts were more geared up to actually creating something where I could combine everything. So I'm not having much luck with this glue stick today. I suppose I could have just used wet glue, couldn't I? Oh, why didn't I? No idea. Right, so I think just to kind of finish it off, I'll put it there, it looks like Mickey Mouse now. No, I'm not doing it. It needs something, doesn't it? I think maybe one there, and we'll take that off the page. Yeah, I think we'll take that off the page. Let's just trim that off. It's a bit cack-handed. Apologise if I'm rambling. Although I kind of did have a little bit of an idea what I wanted this page to look like, it wasn't completely set in stone. I knew there were certain elements I wanted to include, obviously colours and that kind of thing, and the focal point. But apart from that, it was a pretty kind of open and fluid idea along the lines of, well, you know, let's just see what happens. Okay, numbers. Well, we've got numbers on the clocks, but I've got some of those rub-ons that I think I might just introduce. Stand still. There we go. Cut those out. I learnt my lesson with those. Try not to stick everything, the entire sheet down, unless you know you're going to lose half of it. But with these, I'm resigned to the fact that they never come up. They never all come off. You always end up bringing some of it with you. Let's see what we got. Yeah, hey, pretty much everything, look. We'll just go back over it quickly, just to give it a burnish. So numbers there. Let's add some more down there. It's almost like I'm just making this up as I'm going along, aren't I? I am. Like I just said, there's no real particular plan. I know I've got numbers, like I say, on the clocks, but it doesn't hurt just to include a few others. And seeing as I've got these rub-ons, why not? I'll just be sat there gathering dust otherwise. Get them used up. Use them up so you can forget about them. Move on to something else. Right, okay, so we've got this big set of numbers here, right down the middle. This is trying to stab myself in the hand. I think, yes, I think we'll do that. Straight down there. And if they don't come off properly, don't really care. They'll just be grungy, won't they? Okay, so looking all right, isn't it? Yes, I think I'm liking that. So let's see if we can put a little quote on. I'm going to use my impact label thing. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. So we'll then cut that up, and then we can see if we can. I think it's time for these gloves to come off, don't you? Right, I'm going to make sure I don't get talcum powder everywhere because they've got talc in the fingers. Last time I did this, I ended up getting it everywhere. That's it. Baby powder, lovely. Okay, so peel the back off. Great that these are self-adhesive. Got baby powder on my gents. It sounds awful, that doesn't it? There we go. Right, just grab a little bit of a wet wipe, and then I'll just go over all that, and that's going to remove any of that talcum powder. Right, a quick tidy up, quick dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so cleaned up, dried off. So we've got time width for no one. I kind of like that. But I just want to add one last little thing. Just using that transit card again. I just want to go over a little bit just to blend in those clocks. There we go. There we go, I think. Just a little couple more up there. Also helps to frame and create a little bit of an interesting background. I think that'll do. Okay, so that's the Blue Hawaii. Like it a lot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, all I need to do is just sign it. So we'll sign it just there. And date it, and today is the 6th of the 2nd, 21. There we go, that's it. That's my February page. So let's have a quick recap of what we've got. So silhouettes, yep, royal blue, yep, salmon pink, yep, grey around the outside. So ink, yes, tissue paper, yes, circles, oh for definite, numbers, absolutely, and making marks with that transit card. So that's everything on the list. So there you go, that's my mission inspiration page for February 2021. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget, if you want to join in with these monthly art challenges, then all you have to do, there's the URL on screen right now, but there's also a clickable link in the description area below to our Facebook group where you can pop across and join the other almost 5,000 people who are sharing and creating on the common challenges each month. So that's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.